Greetings, people of the interwebs, and this is my review of Baby Driver. Saw it earlier today, and it's the most recent Edgar Wright film, which, for those of you who don't know, he also directed Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End, and Scott Pilgrim. He also directed, I believe, every episode of the TV series Spaced, which he also did with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, who also were in the Cornetto trilogy. And this movie is absolutely amazing. It's probably my favorite movie of the year so far. Granted, we're still only about halfway through, but I'm pretty convinced that there aren't a whole lot of movies coming out the later part of this year that I think that are going to be a whole lot of competition. Maybe episode 8 could top it in its own way, but I think as a whole, Baby Driver it's probably going to remain my favorite movie of the year. And even if for whatever reason it doesn't, it's definitely going to be in my top 10 movies of the year, more than likely even in my top 5. Because this movie just, it hits in every way possible. It's got an amazing cast. You've got Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx, Jon Hamm, Jon Bernthal, Lily James, and Ansel Elgort, who are rising stars, and both of them did a really good job, especially, acting against, someone like Kevin Spacey, who's kind of like top tier talent acting wise. So the fact that they were able to act against him and the rest of the cast without any of the other actors kind of overshadowing them, I think is really impressive. And probably the thing that I liked most about this movie is the music. It's got a great soundtrack, but also it's the way the music is used. And not only do I appreciate this just because I'm a huge music fan and, pretty much addicted to it, which also made it a bit more relatable to the character Baby, who is always listening to music to drown out his tinnitus from a car accident he had as a young child. So I can relate to that just because I usually always have my headphones in and listen to music pretty regularly. But again, just from a filmmaking standpoint, the way the music is used in the scenes really just fit perfectly. And this movie would not be the same without it still would have been a good movie, but I think the music that's used throughout really just helped elevate this movie so much, because again, it kind of gives you a good the character basically has a song for every, kind of depending on his mood and depending on what job he's on, because he's a driver for this kind of shady, Kevin Spacey's character, who I guess is sort of like a criminal boss of some kind. But basically, he's got a song for every job that he does. Depending on if it's a high speed chase, he's got a song for that. And so I don't know. It's just really, I just love the way that Edgar Wright always uses music in his movies. In particular, this one, especially one of the best scenes in the movie is where he utilizes a Queen song, as I've noticed he tends to do in a lot of his movies, and I absolutely love it just because I love Queen. But again, it's just the way that the music is used in every scene is just, it's absolutely perfect. And it's just, this movie is just so phenomenal, because it's not just an action movie, and it's not just a comedy movie. What I love about all of Edgar Wright's movies is he'll take something like a genre and kind of put his own spin to it and kind of flip it on its head a bit. Shaun of the Dead isn't just a zombie movie or a comedy movie. He just puts his own spin to it, and it just seems like a completely original movie. You've never seen a zombie movie before, or Hot Fuzz and how his take on a buddy cop movie. When you watch a movie like that, it kind of just seems like the first time you've ever seen a buddy cop movie in a way. And because again, he adds more to it than just it's a buddy cop action comedy, or again, Shaun of the Dead he just somehow adds these little bits and pieces, these little nuggets to all of his movies that makes them almost completely different, seem completely different, but the same to the genre of that movie. And Baby Driver is kind of no exception, where it's I'd say overall it's kind of it's a heist movie, but again, it's definitely got some amazing action sequences, amazing car chases, and again, the acting, the music is just all outstanding, and but also like I just like the characters' interactions and their dialogue and banter with each other because it just feels very natural and very fluid. Like there aren't a whole lot of moments where I feel like, oh, this was scripted. It just feels like if these characters were real and actually did have a conversation with each other, these are the conversations that they would have. And again, like everyone was just on point with the movie. I really can't say enough good things about this. Like my only, I guess, minor, and again, it's very very minor nitpick with this movie is the relationship with Baby and Lily James's character Debbie or Deborah. I feel like when they meet each other, they have chemistry. I thought that was really well done, but I think it was almost like a fast jump from like them kind of first meeting, having chemistry, and liking each other to them willing to go on like basically, hey, let's just drop everything and go. We don't have a plan. Let's just hop in a car, put on some tunes, and see where life takes us. So I feel like that just kind of that escalated quickly the relationship, but again, that's really my only nitpick, and it's just so minor to where it has no effect on my opinions on the movie whatsoever. That was just the one, slight thing where it prevented this movie from basically being like perfect. And it is a pretty damn perfect movie. Like it. Again, I really can't say enough good things about this movie. It is just so incredibly well done. Everything about it. Everything about it is just amazing. And if for whatever reason you, I don't know, you haven't heard of the movie Baby Driver, go out and go see this movie. Do yourself a favor. Like, even if you didn't have intentions to go see a movie this weekend or you wanted to go see one, but weren't sure what to go see, definitely don't go see Transformers. It's probably bad. I haven't seen one since like the third one because I don't care about the franchise. But like in this kind of era where everything's just these kind of big spectacle films, and not to say that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's just like in this era of franchise movies and blockbusters where it's just this huge kind of spectacle and it's just like a loud action adventure and just fun, which is totally fine, but I think movies like Baby Driver, we need these smaller, more quieter movies to, I don't know, just kind of change things up a bit. Because it was incredibly refreshing. It was almost like Sing Street from last year. I feel like this is gonna be my Sing Street of this year. Because Sing Street was just this really small, quiet movie that just kind of came out of nowhere. It was only in theaters for like a week, it seemed like, and not a whole lot of people really knew about it or didn't get a whole lot of mainstream attention, but the people who did go see it, like I think it's still on Netflix. I can't recommend that movie enough. It's just so amazing. And Baby Driver, again, these kind of smaller movies is what I think we need right now in the movie industry. Just again, kind of keep things fresh. So that way it's not just franchise after franchise after franchise, and it just this kind of blockbuster. I don't know. I feel like in a way we are almost kind of getting fatigued on some of these blockbuster movies. And again, not all of them are bad. It's just not all of them are quite delivering or performing the way the studios want, or they're just not meeting our expectations. So yeah, like if you're wanting a movie to go see this weekend, go see Baby Driver. You won't be disappointed. And if it's one of those movies where I could see why it's not someone's thing. Like if someone sees this movie and maybe that they don't enjoy it as much as I did, but like I don't see someone could just outright hate this movie or dislike it, because it's just, again, everything about this movie is just incredible. The cast, the acting, the music, the action sequences, the humor, everything is fantastic about this movie. So even if you're, I don't know, like just stop this video. Like when you're done watching this video, go like see Baby Driver immediately or like the following day, just at some point, go see Baby Driver. I really can't recommend it enough. It is just an incredible movie. I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep repeating myself and say how much I loved it and that it's incredible and fantastic and just all sorts of other words similar to that. Because, again, I really can't say enough good things. But hopefully, I've gushed enough about this movie to make you all who haven't seen it go see it. But if you have seen it, leave your comments below in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. But thanks, as always, for checking out the videos that I upload here on the channel and supporting us here at Pasty Pale Productions. Please continue doing so, especially since we're almost at 200 subscribers, so help get us to 200 by the end of the year. Be much appreciated, and we'll do like an event of some kind, like a live stream or something along those lines. So, yeah. And as always, you can like us on Facebook at Pasty Pale Productions. You can follow us on Twitter at Pasty Pale Pro, and you can follow me at Irishman Jake on Twitter. Then I'll also leave links to all the other kind of Pasty Pale associated things, like Jordan's new podcast, Reverend Spaceman's channel, and you can also check out my new it's new or newish. Been doing it for a few months, but my anime podcast, Shogun's Gateway to Anime, where we talk all things anime. The most recent episode, we actually have some Attack on Titan theories, and we're gonna kind of do a follow-up episode. Because now me and my co-host were both kind of caught up on the most recent episodes, and some new information has been brought to light, so probably going to do just a Attack on Titan theory-centric episode, probably this weekend or within the next week or so. So if that takes your fancy, feel free to check out the podcast. It's on Podbean and iTunes. And again, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check that out if, again, it takes your fancy. And hopefully you will check out other podcasts and other things, Pasty Pale Productions adjacent as well. And subscribe and share, like, and all that stuff to all the things we got going on. But that wraps this up. Hopefully you all have enjoyed. And again, until next time, everyone, cheers.